Hello and welcome. We are just floating above the 2100s right now. So this could be the game that takes me to the bottom. All right, now don't you want to see that? You guys want to see that? I know there are some of you that are rooting to see a loss. People don't only watch the games of players that they like; they even watch the games of players they dislike. So Magnus, for example, he watches Hikaru's games and he roots against him. But that's fine. It's part of chess. All right. So I captured there so that his bishop is kind of blocked, kind of. And the whole idea here is now going to be knight here and knight here to attack the pawn. And I learned this from watching the Gukesh versus Ding game 5. Game 5. When you get this kind of a structure with the advanced pawn, yes, white has the extra space advantage, but he has a weakened pawn. And that's what we're going to try to very tepidly attack. So this is just a good setup. But now on the question, what else? How else to play it? Knight out here feels very tempting, and I'm gonna play it. Pawn capture is also playable. I could even just go for simplification here. I think in this position I will just develop pieces, however, expand the pressure on that pawn, force him to decide what he wants to do here. Because, of course, if he captures with the bishop, then no big deal. And if he captures with the knight, then he walks into a fork. So he's definitely under a bit of pressure here, and he's playing okay, but hmm, maybe no. Maybe there is something here. Okay, we have that weak pawn, as we said. Now, in a lot of isolated queen pawn positions, you would try to target this knight, and that's what we're going to do here. It's not an isolated queen pawn, but it is a pawn in the center that we're looking to attack, and the knight is the best defender of that pawn. So now, by putting some pressure here, we're creating a little bit more drama. You know, we're exploiting the fact that okay, he's coming in with a back of the rank checkmate threat. Shameless. Shameless. But now we can actually kill it because he has to double his pawns or lose a pawn in the middle. And he chooses the latter, which is not a wise choice, in my opinion. Not a wise choice. Now we have to think, how do we want to take it? Do we want to take it with the knight? And it comes here. Oh, he has a check, so he's gonna have to take his eye off the bishop or walk into this, which I'm equally happy for. And now let's just contest the open file. Bring queen f6 at some point, maybe. What else can we do here? We can even play this, but it walks into this. No, it doesn't. As long as the bishop's here, he ain't going forward. So this is also somewhat disruptive move. We should just capture to avoid any deflection tactics and stuff. Maybe capture here too. It is an opposite colored bishop endgame. That is a fact. But don't know, what about this? Seems decent in the position. Okay, he did come forward now that the bishop lost his eye on that. Now we can actually reroute all three heavy pieces here. That is one advanced maneuver that we can attempt to play. It's pretty good, I would say. This triple exorcism maneuver. Because of that opposite colored bishop that he cannot oppose, you see. He cannot oppose it. However, this is a good move. It's a good move, and it forces me to, we're still putting enough pressure on enough squares that we at least capture the material. Now, maybe we take some open space here and then come back with the bishop. That's one idea. Or what else could we do? But that looks pretty good. Pretty annoying for him. No real tactics on offer for him either at the moment. This bishop is very well held on to. He can't get his queen to attack it so easily either, but he can trap his bishop, and trap his bishop he did. The pressure was mounting and he cracked. Pressure was mounting as he cracked, and then now we're going to go in for the back. We're going to go in from the back. Give him a little check. Does he have another check here? Okay, if we come here, I think he doesn't have a follow-up, but he has this, and that bloody hell is pretty damn good. So we fucked up. All right, man, we fucked up. And now I only got 2 minutes left, so what the hell are we gonna do? We have to create maximum mayhem to have any chance. We should have a chance still because his king is vulnerable. Definitely is vulnerable. I have to play some spicy chess here to stay in the running. We have this kind of option out here. We have a check, but he just gets away with it in here. Here we have a nasty check, but follow-up is going to have to be on there, and that actually is just about good enough. Oh, so look, that was a tough little find, but always good to test yourself with a puzzle rush, especially when you're scraping the bottom of the 2100 barrel, fighting to stay in the reckoning, but you find a way to find the right tactics under pressure, and that's really what it's all about. If you see a lot of the best tennis players, for example, they're just, I know they're giving it their all and all that, but they really only come into their element during the tie breaks, during the critical points of the tie breaks. That's when you see who the real stars are. And that's what our practice is actually all about. It's about developing the temperament to handle this big moment the right way. So far, I'm liking our position here, but this knight capture was indeed premature. There was a better way to amp up the pressure, and that was just the slow move. The slow move is sometimes the best move. Let's see what he had. It was just a short while later, though, that the same idea would come into play. The subtle difference, however, is that the rook, having moved here, allows enough room for the king to escape should he go for the mate? There's no mate any longer. So that's a subtle difference. Very instructive, very instructive. Okay. But now we're going for the same idea, but we have to defend this time. And that was a blunder, because I can just capture. And okay, he captured back with the queen, turns out to be the best move, but it's not optimal for him anyway, this whole setup. Now we start undermining the pawn chain, facilitating trades. Here was inaccuracy. And the main core idea was to get the queen there. Interesting. This rook here move was, well, I know it wasn't perfectly thought out. It was just the kind of piece geometry that I couldn't resist. And it didn't work out because of this move here that forces a queen and rook to not be able to line up so easily, but it was still good enough to win significant material, get a lot of good play, and even then later trap this bishop. So everything was working out just fine until I didn't do the simple move. Until I didn't do the simple move, and all of a sudden it's a draw. All of a sudden, my 2100 is at risk. And what did I do? I just stuck on. Just keep the pieces on the board. You're playing with an amateur. He's only 1950. And here, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Rook check. Queen check. Queen check. And pretty good move. Queen check. Not optimal. Rook check was slightly better. Oh, rook check. Rook check isn't really that much better. Well, it seems like it's heading. Somehow this is a winning position, I guess. Might be a winning position. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's a tough endgame over there. Instead, we kept the mating threats alive, and now we just finish it off with the classical queen e8 checkmate. All right, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more.